Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So who likes to save money? No one. But who likes to be debt-free and have enough money to cover your bills without sacrificing your night out with your friends or husband? Everybody. So I came up with 8 unique ideas that we ourselves do regularly to save money. I'm not going to sit here and tell you,
take shorter showers.
No, these are going to be different than the usual advice that you hear. And make sure to watch this entire video because sometime during this video, I'm going to reveal my best saving tip that we've been doing since the day we married that has not only helped us save significantly, but has also probably saved our marriage. So starting with the first one, which is... Alright, I'm sorry. I just had to get my intro in there. So number 1. Eat 1 vegetarian meal a week. Meat is good, but meat is expensive. Sometimes you can spend up to $12 just buying 3 pounds of chicken. If you just cooked 1 vegetarian meal each week, you could save yourself $10 a week, $40 a month, $520 a year. Okay, Google, 10 times, never mind. But if you have men in your home, they may not be pleased with the lack of meat. But you know what? You look them in the eye and you say, you want to know what's for dinner? The mortgage, because we're eating that debt up. Yeah, pasta's good. On to the second unique saving tip. You know what a lot of us have in common here in America? We have too much stuff. We may be poor, but we also have a lot of stuff piling up in the back of our closet, and some of us are drowning in it. And we would love to clear some of it out, but we spent money on that, so we don't want to get rid of it. Well, I have a proposition that's going to benefit you, the saver, and maybe your friends.
Hello, friend. Goodbye.
I'm sure you've heard of Facebook Marketplace. That's the typical advice on saving, right? Sell your stuff on the marketplace. Well, maybe you've already sold all you want to sell on the marketplace, but have your friends done the same. I want you to call up whatever friend of yours has the most stuff. Actually, don't call. That is socially unacceptable. So text them and see what they think about you selling their extra stuff for them and then splitting it 50-50. A lot of people have a lot of stuff that they would love to sell and make a little money from, but they just don't have the time. Do the job for them and take 50% of the cut. They got the stuff, you got the time, you both get the money. It's a win-win. The third unique way to save money is to never buy your phones, iPads, or laptops new. There is a website that nobody is talking about, that everyone should be talking about, and this isn't sponsored. I'm not cool enough to sponsor anything as of yet. www.swappa.com. I've been buying used phones on Swappa for the last 7 years. I mean, why would you spend $600 to $800 on a new phone when you can get a used phone in very good shape for only $150 and not have your monthly plan costs raised? My husband has been using his Swappa phone for the last 4 years now. I've been using a hand-me-down, which is also a great way to save money. And we haven't bought a new phone in almost 9 years, so do yourself a favor. And next time you need a new phone, get on Swappa and save yourself $500. And hey, did you like my video yet? I've got to ask you to like it now because my next tip, you're not going to like that. On to the fourth unique way to save money. A lot of people will tell you to cut down on takeout. Something I often hear is that you should cut your takeout down to about 2 to 3 times a month. Well, where are you going, Barbara? You could spend $100 on a steak dinner one day, and then the next day, $40 at a diner, and then $50 on pizza, wings, and a roni roll, and boom, you're up $190 plus the tip. Well, I have a better tip for you that may not make you happy, but it'll make your mortgage happy, possibly your gut. Don't limit the amount of times you eat out in a month, but limit the amount of money you spend eating out in a month.
I'm sorry, what?
Put a number on it. We won't spend more than $50 in a month on takeout, or $60 or $70. You choose the amount that will help you reach your saving goals. And speaking of budgeting, that brings me to the 5th unique way to save money, which is budgeting presents. Not budgeting our presents, which many of us do a fine job at, including me. Ghosting people since 2003. No, I'm kidding. I don't ghost people and neither should you, okay? You need to call Aunt Pearl back. So yes, presents. This is a huge spending area. The average person in the US spends a total of $850 on Christmas gifts every year. You got $800 laying around? And not only that, you're gonna have birthdays, baby showers, bridal showers, weddings, graduations, anniversaries, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day, Easter, and on and on and on it goes until you're broke. So you gotta set a budget for gifts. Besides my son, because we do spend a little more on him, because he's my baby. But other than that, we budget only $25 per person for all holidays or celebrations. No matter if it's mom, grandpa, or cousin Earl, we spend no more than $25. You may be worried that this makes you look cheap. Well, it may. But if you're cheap now, then later in life you'll be able to be significantly more giving because you were smart with your savings early on. Moving on to number 6. So a common saving tip that people will tell you is to buy your clothes from a thrift shop. Buy your clothes used. It's great advice. But I never hear anyone encouraging you to sell your clothes. Now, not all thrift shops do it, but you should look around your town because there are thrift shops that will take your clothes and then they'll give you 50% of the profit of what they make. And let's be real here. How much of your closet do you actually wear? You don't have to answer that. I Googled it, and this is what I found on lifestyle50.com. According to a survey of 1,000 USA women, Closet Made found that the average woman has 103 items of clothing in her closet, but she only wears around 10% of them and considers 21% to be unwearable, 33% too tight, and 24% too loose. Wow. Who relates to that? So what are you doing? Empty out that closet and get selling the clothes that you're never gonna wear. This brings me to my 7th unique way to save money, which I mentioned in the beginning of my video. I said I was gonna give you my best saving tip. Well, here we are. This tip has saved me so much money. But it has also kept us from big financial arguments, which I'm sure if you're married, you may be familiar with. Financial problems are within the 5 leading causes of divorce. So leading up to this tip, I'm gonna bring you way back to the beginning.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Okay, not that far. Let's fast forward a little bit. So back when my husband and I were engaged, we went through premarital counseling with our pastor, which is a common practice amongst Christians. And our pastor gave us advice that would set us off to a great start in marriage. And it did. He said that we should both have jars, one for each of us. And much like a parent does with their child, we would give ourselves an allowance each week. And this money is purely for our entertainment. I could take my allowance and I could buy a foot bath or a giant banana split. The options are endless because it's my money. And in the same way, I can't get mad if my husband spends a large sum of money on a video game because that's his allowance. He saved for it. As for how much of an allowance you want to give yourselves, that's up to you. We have lowered and raised ours over the years depending on our financial situation. This money counts towards extra takeout because we have a separate budget for takeout, so if you go over that budget, it goes into your allowance money. Home decor that we don't really need but I just want, or Dunkin' Donuts coffee in the morning. It all counts. And it has saved us a ton of money in the last 5 years of marriage. The 8th unique way to save money is to follow the advice of Dave Ramsey, who said, if you will live like no one else, then later you can live like no one else. Which means make sacrifices now in life. Make yourself uncomfortable. Say no to the things that everyone else is saying yes to now, so that later in life you can live like no one else and have the life you always wanted because you spent the last 5, 10, 15 years settling for the used car that's 10 years old. And you bought your couches on Facebook Marketplace when you really wanted to buy them new. And you settled for a small, cheap apartment when you wanted the nicer one for a couple $100 more. But then later on, after all those years of sacrificing and making yourself uncomfortable, you can now have the beautiful home, the nicer car, the couches from IKEA. So keep making those sacrifices now and your time will come. If any of these tips gave you value today, then subscribe for more because I am very savvy with my money and I have more great advice to come. And if you click on the screen right now, you can learn some cool ways on how to decorate a small home for free or on a low budget. I will see you guys in my next video.